everybody. All right, so in this video we are going to talk about what to do if you are using Squarespace and you got a template like this one right here, and you want to change some of the coloring for the template. So I just did a workshop last night that was going over things for SEO, and part of it was also accessibility components. And basically what that means is making sure that your website can be visible by anyone, like if their vision is if they have trouble with their vision, or different things. In this specific instance, that's what we are talking about. So what that means is that we need to have a certain amount of contrast for people to be able to read and see things. Unfortunately, sometimes when you get these templates or some designs, the actual coloring is not that contrastable for people to be able to see it, for everyone to be able to see it. So if we use see this thing over here on the right, this is letting me know what the color of the background is, this, and the color of the text is this. You can see this is red text on a pink background, which might be hard if you've got some colorblind issues, or just in general, your eyes are getting a little bit different. But if you look down here on the bottom right, there's these little X's and these green circles. This is letting you know what's passing and what's failing. Now, if we put this little arrow down here, it's telling you that if it's an 18-point font or bigger, that it's passing. If it is a 14-point font or smaller, it's failing. So what that means is we might want to change the color of this red font. So how do we do that? Or how do we change this styling for our site? So we're going to go through that in this video. Okay, so to do this, what we're going to do is go to your Squarespace site, and you're going to click as if you want to edit your site. So you end up with something like this. I did have to make it smaller so you can see all sides of this screen, so I apologize if it's too small. Over here on the left, you're going to see pages, design, commerce, etc. What we're going to do is click on design. From here, you'll see introducing styles, some information here. We're going to go to site styles over on the left, and it's going to open this up over on the right. So here is where we can change things. So if I go to fonts and click on that, it's saying, hey, you can change your font size. You can fit like what our base font size is. We can change the font style. So if you want to do that, you can do that here. If we click back, now I can go to colors. And colors are basically broken down into these themes. So if you say customize your themes, you'll see that there's all these themes here. Now, if I look over on the left, you'll see that this says light 2, light 2. And if I scroll down, light 2, light 2, light 2, light 2. This whole page is light 2. So that means that this light 2 option right here is the one being used. If we change the page that we're on, we might have a different section, but that is kind of the base. You can also come up here to edit palette at the very top, and you can do from presets. You can choose different options if you want to change things from the colors, so you can mess around with kind of what these palette colors are, and see what happens. So if we click, for instance, just on the palette editor, that red spot, everything in this light 2 is changing to that black. So that's one way you could do it, but you can see it made things a little bit more of a dark theme. So it got rid of that basically red coloring. So that's a broad way that you could try to do it, but it does impact things on the other themes as well. So some of these would change. So keep that in mind. The other way you can do it is independently going into light 2 or whichever one that you want to do. And you can see that there's all these options with these colorings. So if we go back up to the top, you'll see we're looking kind of for the things that are red. So if we see site title, and that's red, I can click on that and say, hey, I want that to go to black. That changed to this right here. You might not even have that on your page. You might have a logo there or something else, but I can click and change it there. If I want to do the background, I can change the background color, and it changes it to whatever it is I choose. If I want to scroll down and go to the text area, you can see it's broken down into sizing of the headings, which means you'd likely need to change these red for all of them, because depending on if you're using an H1, an H2, an H3, depending on what you're basically using as the heading, that's going to determine what changes. So I would change all of these, and you'd want to make them the same thing. I just made them different things, but that kind of gives you the idea. Text highlight you can change as well. This is where you can make all of those basically color changes. Coming down to the bottom for the links, if we go over and it's a link, it's going to be, the text link might be red, so you'd also want to change that. Similar for the button. If the button background is red and the text is white, making sure that I don't even see a button on this page, but making sure that that is something that is what you're looking for that coloring. So the text white on the red background, make sure that that works, that that's okay. Scroll down, you can do the same thing for the announcement bar. Basically, you're looking for the word text and background and looking at these red things and making sure that they work for what it is that you're trying to do. And then once you're done with this, it basically updates on everything that is a light 2 option. When you're done, you click done and save. It'll make those changes. And then next, what I'd recommend doing is going and looking at your other pages. So to do that, we can come over to the left, go to pages over here, and then you can choose a different one. So this base template that I chose apparently only has a contact and a blog. So I'm going to go to the contact. And it looks like it's likely using that light 2 as well. Oh, here's some red links. So you can see that those would have needed to be changed as well. And then we've got a blog. So the blog, you also want to make sure that you've changed things in here. But all of this is kind of with those settings. So you can see that this is likely the light 2. So in order to check, I'm going to go back, get design, site styles. It's going to bring that up over here, colors, and you can see we are on light 2 again, but notice how these are red. So we need to go in here and figure out what is causing, which thing in here is relating to this and making it red. And you'll have to kind of play around. You're either looking for a blog session or you'll have to play and see, like blog post title. Here you go. That one didn't do it. Oh, there we go. Go. This is another one. So here's another one, and you're basically going to kind of change these things. There we go. Until you get what you want or you learn which thing needs to be changed for. So that is the basics on how you can basically change your coloring for Squarespace and have it change throughout your entire site to keep things continuous, and that's the main way that Squarespace lets you do that. If you've got questions, as always, leave them below. I will do my best to make a video like this one answering your questions. All right, have a good one.